What is the one food that you should avoid like the plague? You're probably eating this food every day. This is your daily bread. So if you are buying traditional bread from the supermarket, I think everybody knows which bread I'm talking about. You know, that loaf of bread from your local supermarket that comes sliced and it's soft and, you know, it's aesthetically very pleasing and probably also very tasty. That bread is not going to improve your health. In fact, it's going to sabotage all your health efforts. Okay, so why is this bread so bad? One, it's got preservatives like calcium and sodium propionate. Those preservatives, they are terrible for your gut microbiome. So almost everybody knows now that, you know, if you don't look after your gut microbiome, you are more likely to be very unhealthy. They put emulsifiers there. These emulsifiers, what they do is they cause leaky gut. They go and degrade the lining of your gut, so you know, you end up with leaky gut, which is something that you don't want. They also fortify. So if any food, whether it's a cereal or anything that is a packaged food, if it says fortified, in my opinion, it means you should avoid that food, because basically fortification of this food means they've used synthetic vitamins, synthetic minerals that they put in there. And you might think, oh, what's the big deal? Well, they're not bioavailable in the first place, but there's a group of people, or almost 44% of the population, that cannot deal well with certain synthetic vitamins like folic acid. So most of these breads will have folic acid, and folic acid can have a negative impact on these people because they need folate, and the folic acid can actually make symptoms worse. Like if you look at kids that have got behavioral issues, you might find that their behavior gets worse after breakfast because they've been eating this bread that is fortified with folic acid, not folate. Okay, and also they like to make the bread tasty, so they add things like dextrose, they add things like high fructose corn syrup. These also have got a negative impact on the gut bacteria. But apart from that, they also increase your blood sugar levels. So we know that any food that has got a strong glycemic impact, so in other words, it increases your sugar levels very fast, is something that's going to make you fat. And the bread tends to be very addictive, that somebody might end up eating, you know, a toast in the morning, you know, a sandwich, you know, for lunch. So that's a lot of bread. So the best is to find a bread that has got very little ingredients, probably 2 or 3. And there are a lot of local people in your community, wherever you are, that make bread that doesn't have all these dozens of unnecessary and also harmful ingredients. They also like to put flavors, you know, flavoring in there. They like to put flour improvers. And most of the kids now, because of the fact that their microbiome is not so robust, because they've taken antibiotics and all the medications that they get from the pediatrician, because I mean they are necessary medications, but these kids tend to be very allergic. I mean, this can trigger an allergic reaction in those kids, things like asthmatic symptoms, and you just wonder, why is this child struggling to breathe? So it's very important that, you know, when you choose your bread, it must have very little ingredients, you know, things like just flour and fermented and salt. That's it, not a whole list of ingredients that are detrimental to health. So in my opinion, you need to avoid supermarket bread, and you don't have to eat bread for breakfast. And this is all marketing, because what's stopping you from eating your leftovers? You know, why does it have to be bread? So it's kind of like a brain thing, that you have to change your perception about food. You don't need to eat this supermarket bread every morning because it's impacting your health. So if you're not losing weight, try cutting this bread. Okay, if your kids are getting hyperactive after breakfast, look at what you're giving your kids. Okay, so avoid supermarket bread.